Well, hello there and welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm Jennifer Anderson, Executive Director of the Georgina Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also the host of the show. This is a show that we put into place in the spring in conjunction with Rogers TV Georgina to talk about business, and it's for businesses. And really the purpose when we started doing the show was to make sure that businesses now more than ever, as they're going through so many changes with the pandemic, understand the resources, the grants, the opportunities that are available to them. So we've had many shows where we've talked to businesses, talked to them a little bit about what they do, but my favorite shows have always been the ones that help these businesses. And this episode is one of those shows. We have three guests today, all from different organizations within the community that offer opportunities for businesses. And these are really grants and opportunities that are current so they can be helped right now. I'm going to introduce our guest to you. Tom Ross is the Business Loans Officer with Southlake Futures. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Jennifer. Thanks.
Thanks for being on the show with us today. We also have Sean Columbus. He is the Economic Development Officer with the Economic Development Department at the town of Georgina. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for having me on the show this morning.
It's the world's longest title. I just shortened your title completely of this long title. Thank you for being here with us. And finally, Daniela Massafero. She is with York Small Business Enterprise Center. You are a small business consultant, and thank you for being here. Hi, Daniela.
Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks for having me.
I love that we can talk to each of these organizations anytime throughout the year, because they are organizations, they are business consultants that help businesses and organizations. But now more than ever, as businesses are struggling, adapting, pivoting, it's nice to have these resources. I'm going to start with Tom to talk a little bit about what Southlake Futures is. So Tom, maybe you can help us. For anybody who doesn't know, it's that house right near the Five Corners on the Queensway. What does Southlake Futures do?
Thanks, Jennifer. So yeah, we're just an office in a little old cottage here in Keswick, and we're happy to help all kinds of businesses in East Gwillimbury, Georgina, and Brock. Mainly, we help, we've got three different services. So we've got business counseling, we've got grants, and we've got loans. So for business counseling, we can help people put together business plans, create cash flow projection templates. A lot of small business owners just don't have someone to talk to and kick around ideas and brainstorm with. So we're just here happy to talk to anyone and help them think about how they're going to expand, or maybe how they're going to open in this new environment that we have. And grants are typically focused on innovation. We did recently just have some COVID-related benefits that went out as well. And our loans, we've got 4 different loan products, and I think we'll be talking about the COVID-related ones today.
Perfect. And as much as you have loans and you have opportunities that are COVID related, this is nothing new. You have this organization has been helping local businesses and organizations for many years.
That's right. We've been offering traditional loans for about 16 years from this location, and for a while before that too. And yeah, we just help businesses. We're mandated not to compete with the banks, so we start at prime plus 3%, go up to 15 years for up to 150,000, and yeah, we're just here to basically help you get bank ready. So once you can get a better rate, go to the bank. That's great.
Yeah, and I think for so many businesses as they start out, it's just that. They just want that help. They just knowing that somebody is available to answer those questions, because it is overwhelming for businesses.
Absolutely. Just being here and helping people go from the idea stage to actually starting up and launching their business is always a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the RRRF. It's the regional, and there's so many acronyms now. COVID is it. The Regional Relief and Recovery Fund. What is that?
Okay, so this is a special program. It's through the federal government. It was really designed for those that were either not eligible for the other COVID relief funding that the government put out, or maybe they needed a little bit more. So this is for overhead costs, salaries, wages, that kind of thing. It's aimed at Main Street businesses, sole proprietors, and people that really fell through the cracks from the other programs. So we're seeing a lot of sole proprietors, tourism and hospitality businesses, such as restaurants and hotels. Yeah.
And you said falling through the cracks. I know, we've seen that over the last 4 months with the pandemic as each level of government starts to introduce different funding opportunities. You really discover kind of who's falling, doesn't fit into certain programs. So having funding like this that meets the needs of those people really is an asset.
Exactly. So we businesses only have to have started March 1st, 2020. There is not the same wages requirement. You don't have to have paid salaries in 2019. We'd love to help businesses that have been open for 2 years or more, but that's not necessary either. We're really looking at everything on a case-by-case basis. Everybody's situation is different, and the way things were in the past might not be the way things are going to be in the future.
Right. Nice little package if you head to your website. There's lots of information. So for anybody who's interested in this, at least they can take a look at whether they are eligible or not eligible, those types of things. It also covers those costs. So it's great for businesses who want to go into something like this, knowing what it would cover.
Yeah, exactly. So the application is right there on our website with the program guidelines. The biggest thing about this program is that no payments are required until January of 2023. So you can get up to $40,000 and you don't need to make any payments till January 2023, at which point you have two options. You can either repay 75% by December 2022, and then you're eligible to keep 25%, or you can start repaying a 3-year term over 5%, or a 5-year, 3-year term over with 5% interest loan, or you can, so if you got a $40,000 loan, December 2022, you can either repay $30,000 and keep $10,000 or start repaying that $40,000.
And that's very similar to one of the other programs that's being offered, but like you said, different eligibility requirements.
That's right. It's very similar to the Canada Emergency Bank Account, just not the same requirements. And you're even still eligible for this program if you got that one. You just won't be eligible for the $10,000 forgivable. Got it.
You said the application is available on the website, but in addition to that, you also have some of the information and the criteria, including the reporting. There is a reporting process as well.
Yes, so the reporting process is pretty straightforward with this one, and the application process too. To be honest, you can give me a call, give me an email. I'm happy to walk you through the application, or send in as much as you have, and I'll give you feedback and get the last bits that we need. We're really here to help, and we really want to get this money out as quickly as we can to those who need it the most. And some people don't work on a computer that well. That's fine. We can help you out too, and yeah, we can really work with you. Just give us a call and we can figure it out.
Amazing. Is there a deadline for applying?
So we want to get the money out as soon as possible. But that said, it's a rolling application process, so you can apply anytime.
Right. Very good. And information not only about this program, but lots of programs that you have are available on your website.
That's right. We've got a few different benefits there. We've got another COVID-19 response fund. If you need even more than $40,000, you can get $5,000 to $20,000, 5-year term, 1% interest, and you don't have to make payments for 6 months on that one.
Right. So lots of options.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to bring Daniela into the conversation now. Daniela, you are with Wisebeck. Tell everybody what the York Small Business Enterprise Center is.
Yeah, so the York Small Business Enterprise Center is a part of the Regional Municipality of York, and we actually report directly to the Economic Strategy Department.
Yeah, it's with the Starter Company Plus is one of the opportunities as well. So I'm going to bring you right into the Starter Company and talk a little bit about that program because it's very relevant to this current time.
So yes, Starter Company Plus is one of our grant programs that we have at the Small Business Center. We've restructured the program and redeveloped it to provide more of a COVID relief for the existing business community. So in the past, it was open to the startup businesses as well as existing businesses. And this year, what we're looking at doing is just using the program to support those who have been shut down or been affected by COVID, require some assistance in getting back on track, getting reopened, re-strategizing their digital marketing campaigns, learning how to do business differently. So we do have an event that does come with training and mentorship, and that is available to any business within the northern 6 communities of York Region. So that would include Georgina, East Gwillimbury, Newmarket, Aurora, Stouffville, and King.
Right. Now, the thing that I love about this program, and it's very similar to, what's been, I say this in every show, the buzzword of the pandemic is pivot. And businesses are pivoting to really adjust to the current situation. This Starter Plus program really is an example of that pivot, where it was a program that was slightly altered to meet the current needs of businesses, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's eligible for this program?
It would be anyone that is for profit. The business must be in an actual storefront, not operating from home, operating for at least a year, and who has seen a 30% reduction through COVID in their revenue.
And the process to apply is simple?
The process to apply is simpler right now through this revised program than maybe in the past. What we've done is the information is on our website, but there is an application form that they must receive directly through the small business consultants or the center itself. And there is a marketing questionnaire that needs to be completed with that.
Right. And all of that is available on your website.
The application is not available on our website, but the information on the program and how to access the application is, yes.
Very good. And that's just one of the opportunities that exists with WiseBack in terms of helping businesses in our community.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So the Small Business Center supports those who are looking to start a business or grow their business with consultation, development of a business plan, review of business plan. We do have events and training, networking opportunities. We're here to kind of service the business with the needs that they require. And if we can't support them, then, as part of the ecosystem, redirecting them to the level of government or community partner that can.
Right. And you certainly have seen some alterations in what you're doing. I know you have been a visitor with us once a month at the chamber office, either with one-on-one consultations or group consultations. Certainly yes. Over the last 4 months, that has had to change quite a bit. So you've had to adapt that as well.
Yes. So absolutely. So we do offer consultations in our office, and we do offsite in Georgina. Right now, we're doing everything via phone, online. We're looking at bringing back some of the group consultations through Zoom, and we'll start doing that over the summer.
Do you see any of that continuing? I know there's certainly advantages to one-on-one or group and face-to-face consultations, but certainly some of that could be adapted into future plans for WiseBack.
It definitely can. I think this is the route we're going to continue with for at least the next 3 to 6 months. And then I can see us adapting it into our regular programming in the future. We do want to get people back into the office eventually, and that face-to-face is so important. But we now know we can use technology and continue to use it for some of our meetings or events. We haven't really decided how and what it will look like, but absolutely, I do see us using it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's bring Sean in now. Sean, there's so many things that are happening within the town of Georgina, within the actual town offices, and certainly economic development has been hopping. We've seen how much you've been doing over the last few weeks and months. It is a great opportunity when businesses are starting up in Georgina to know what's available to them, whether it's South Lake Futures, whether it's Wiseback, and certainly tapping into the resources that are available at the Economic Development Office is key as well.
Yeah, that's right. So our Economic Development and Tourism Division is, we have a focus on obviously improving the economy of an area with a big focus on investment opportunities, business support, and especially because of COVID-19 and the pandemic, the business recovery efforts have really had an importance recently. And there's been a lot of traction over the past month since it's essentially started.
Right. You've seen some of the programs develop and adapt as a result of the pandemic as well.
Yeah, the programs have evolved and adapted based on the pandemic. So I know we have our development rebate program, our community improvement plan that's evolved because of the pandemic. We've seen a need for support on these various businesses because of the pandemic. So we've evolved those programs. So I know that we still have to focus on promoting the development of tourism and supporting our business sectors throughout Georgina, but we've had a number of programs. The first one was the Georgina Emergency Response Benefit, which was basically the first grant program that was launched with a total of $250,000 of funding to help support the businesses at the initial starting stages of the pandemic. And we've had a few other programs that have recently launched over the past while.
Right. So the first one you're talking, the Georgina Emergency Response Benefit was available. 66 businesses received opportunities through that program.
Yeah, that's correct. There was a huge uptake on that program, and essentially 66 were approved, and there was a large uptake. So with those that couldn't unfortunately get funding, there's other programs that they may be able to take advantage of. So that kind of may tie into the small business support program or some other of the funding programs. And that's, we want to keep adapting and evolving these programs.
Right. What I love about each of the programs is you are identifying as information becomes available, as you are taking surveys with organizations, what their needs are, and then those programs are being developed. And case in point, when you had the GERB and it was announced, one of the things that wasn't eligible, one of the types of organizations that wasn't available was the not-for-profit organizations. So all of a sudden then we see a survey come out for not-for-profits, and then we see the not-for-profit and charitable organization application that came out. So it's a great opportunity as, you know, businesses are letting the town know what their needs are, that their voices are being heard.
Yeah, we launched the feedback survey for not-for-profit charitable organizations to get their input, see what type of assistance was needed, and that helped develop the program. So obviously that specific program is to assist those that lost 30% in revenue, and obviously for those bricks and mortar locations that need help and assistance. So that specific program is $1,000 per month for a 3-month period. And the application is open until August 10th. So obviously, if you're a not-for-profit or charitable organization, apply for that program if you're facing a loss in revenue.
Right. Two other programs that were developed, the first intake period took place until July 10th. However, there is a second. The first of those is the Development Rebate Building Permit Fee Application. Long title. What is that?
So the development rebate building permit fee, I know, a long title.
Like it was nothing.
The length, it could shorten it potentially. It's an extension of our existing program, and this was modified to address the implications of COVID-19, the pandemic, to support business recovery. So that one specifically is to help with building permit fees. It's up to $3,000 or 50%. For businesses, and all sectors are eligible for the program as well. So it's definitely to help with building permit fees related to COVID-19. And the second one that just had its first intake close is our extension of the community improvement grant program. So that one is a extension of our existing program. So that's for commercially assessed businesses in our business improvement areas within Keswick, Sutton, and Jackson's Point. And that one's to help with the various measures because of COVID-19. So it might be with interior renovations to address social distancing protocols, or applications to implement technology software upgrades in order to keep those businesses evolving. So the amounts on that one, with interior renovations, it's $3,000 per business. And for the technology upgrades or software upgrades that companies may have had to implement, that one's up to a max of $1,500.
Right. Very good. And finally, as we enter into stage two, as we did enter into stage two, it was nice that local restaurants were able to open their patios. And it's also such a great opportunity that the town has allowed some alterations in the permits to allow those that didn't have patios to now have patios during this temporary time. Tell us a little bit about the temporary patio program.
Yeah, so as stage two, or we entered stage two, there was a need for this program due to the state of emergency, which basically forced restaurants to have outdoor dining as the only option for customers on site. So we had a need to establish this, and basically what it is a free online application with a quick turnaround to assist those that need temporary patios. So it will be for new patios, expanded patios for restaurants, and generally applicants need to go through a Planning Act process, which generally takes a longer amount of time. So this program shortens up the time. We have a 3 business day turnaround goal to have these applications approved. And then it also offers more flexibility for the restaurants to expand seating options. As we enter stage 3 of the pandemic, they still need that flexibility. So even if interior dining is an option, they still need to have that spacing and safety protocols in place to separate their customers. So it's, even as the pandemic evolves, this application is permitting those to have a patio until the end of the year. So it's open until the end of 2020. So there's definitely time to have that patio.
Right. It's amazing to me, and each of us are in areas where we're helping businesses on a daily basis. Have you seen changes over the last few weeks? Obviously, from 4 months ago, there's been significant changes, but I'm finding even with the chamber now that businesses are a little more calm in their decisions and figuring out what's available. So that panic is over because these grants and opportunities have become available. Tom, have you seen a change in people coming through the doors?
Yeah, there's definitely a change that's happening. I speak to a lot of people who they had no idea that they would have been eligible for something like that we're offering for sole proprietors. To them, it's usually just shocking that they're even eligible for our programs. So we just try to tell everybody to reach out and just apply. Yeah.
Right. And Daniela, you feel the same way?
Definitely there's been a change in the types of inquiries and the stress that we hear from the businesses. But when we were entering stage 2, I have to say, I actually heard from businesses who were concerned about reopening. and what that meant, and the precautions they had to put in place, and were they following the right steps in reopening, and what that meant, how many people they can bring in, and adjusting and working around their staffing. And so there was still some concern, just different type of concern, a different level of stress. So that's what I think we've been experiencing over the last couple of weeks, or last 3 weeks, as we were entering stage 2. And I would say, up until the end of last week, I was still getting those inquiries like, we still haven't opened because we're not ready to open. And, here are some of my concerns, and can you walk me through it?
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to diminish the concerns that are happening. I really saw that shift in, just that kind of, it's almost that thirst for knowledge and wanting to, because things change so often. So wanting to know where they can get the information and how they can best deal with the current situation.
Yeah, I even saw a few businesses, they knew it was going to be opening at a loss, but they just wanted to open and try it out and see what it's going to be like. And some decided not to open, but yeah.
Yeah. There's also been those moments of just really appreciating the businesses. And, we always talk about how that shop local is such a cliche word and a buzzword, right? But really, when you dive into really wanting to help support businesses in your community, we've really seen some good news stories, and we've seen a lot of things. And I know, Sean, I'm sure you've seen that going into businesses or talking to businesses as, they're able to open a patio for the first time, or they're able to get a loan, that it's a game changer for their business.
Well, I think that we were listening to the businesses too, and they were saying, well, how do I stay in business, and what are the things I have to do that keep me generating revenue? And then we started developing programs that would help them. And it's like getting online. We've been seeing a lot of agriculture businesses and a lot of farms that didn't have methods of selling online, and now they're getting websites and building more. And it's actually definitely interesting and exciting at the same time to see them getting creative and expanding their ways to do business.
Amazing. It's the perfect way to end our discussion here today. I know we've had your websites up throughout the show, so there's an opportunity for people to head to each of your websites and really dive into more information and figure out what's available to them. Thank you so much to each of you for being here and being part of the show today. Thank you to Rogers TV Georgina. We, of course, have all of our shows airing on Channel 10, but they're also available on the Rogers TV YouTube channel and on the georginachamber.com website. On behalf of everyone here, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Mind Your Business.